This is a really quick analysis of my Cubist journey so far. It's been really fun, challenging, trying to get to the effects from going from realistic to Cubist style. These are some of the first pieces I practiced on. This was a Ford Fiesta. I didn't quite like the markers on this paper, so this is just a practice run. And then I tried this one with watercolour paints, this cool Saxo. Things are a little bit off here. I didn't really capture some of the shapes. It's more just line and stuff like that. Lines here and there and stuff. But yeah, I didn't really capture the essence of the actual geometric shapes here. The depth is all over the place. Although the picture's not as flat as I want it to be, so this wasn't the best ones, but good first attempt so far. Then these were the next two that I challenged myself for. This was a cool Yaris that I did, and the Seat Cupra. The Yaris one I did next. This one's not the best. I think I could have highlighted some more of the geometric shapes like I did with the Saxo, but it's getting better, I think. Better than the previous ones. And I've got lots of different interesting views here. It's not as flat as I would like it, but again, looks really cool. And this one here, I really love how this bonnet comes up here. I love the depth and stuff. I really captured the depth in this one, so this one's looking a lot better. But yeah, this is a gradual process of getting better and better at the geometric shapes, capturing the lines, capturing the essence of the actual car, because the whole purpose of this was to create much more of a raw effect. The photographs in all the other picture creates like a 2D perspective, but this captures much more of a raw essence of what the car actually is. So yeah, this is a good next step that I did. So this was an interesting experiment I did early on. It was using pyrography on this wooden plywood. Now this is an interesting idea I had. I think I was a bit too early to actually try this, but it still looks really cool. I added like all these different geometric shapes. I've got the front view here, rear view, lights and stuff like that. I really highlighted all the essence of the shapes. So I think early on I managed to establish a lot of the geometric nature of the actual car itself and keep kind of a flatness with this. So this was done pyrography, wood burning, then watercolour paints on top, and then I added a little bit of gouache highlights. But I think this one I captured the shapes really well, just maybe not the essence of the geometric shapes, like the shading and stuff like that is a bit off, but I think definitely I'll have to go to more pyrography in the future. I've learnt a bit from this one, but it still looks really cool. It's a lot more different than the rest, because the rest is like watercolour paints or oil pastels and stuff, but this is different in pyrography. And I've never really seen like a pyrography before Cubist one, so but yeah, this one looks really cool. Okay, so this is like the next development of my Cubism journey that I went on. I tried to go for oil pastels on a tan paper. This is the first one I tried to test out the oil pastels. I never really used oil pastels beforehand. I've always been a watercolour kind of guy. That's been my go-to. But I thought this was really good because it'd be opaque and a much more grudgy kind of effect. And I think it'll create a lot more of a flat basis. So this is a Ford Escort Delta that I did. And I don't know what exactly it is about this particular one that I first did with the oil pastels, but I really like it. It gives a really, I don't know, I'm really drawn to this one. Although it's quite straightforward, there is a rear view here, a front view there and stuff like that. And I found some leftover linseed oil from a long time ago, so I used that to kind of blend it all together. Now taking this further, I thought I'd experiment with a cool train. This was the King's Class train, if I remember. This one, I don't think I captured it very well. This was just an experiment with the train. I need to do more trains. I love doing the trains and stuff like that, but I don't think I captured it very well. The problem is, I think this one's more sharply defined, these geometric shapes, and it's nice and flat. This one isn't as sharply defined, it's a bit more blurry, so it's not really defined that well. So these highlights that I've added here as well afterwards, they're not the best, but I'm getting there. So I think I want to definitely do some more trains in the future. This is, I still don't know why I like this so much. It's so cool. So this is an interesting one I did. This is a Vauxhall Cavalier. Again, I did it with the oil pastels and on white paper. But this one's really interesting. I don't think it's as flat as I would like it. The problem is I made this area quite synonymous with the rest of it, so it's not as flat as I would like it. So yeah, it's still quite cool. I love the effect of this front view coming in with the rear view here, and you've got lots of different views highlighted here, but it's not as even as I would like it. It still looks really cool, but yeah, it's pretty interesting so far. It's not as cubist as I would like it, but I'm getting better and better, I think. So then this is the next one that I worked on. I think this is where I really started to capture much more of the cubist kind of style that I'm after. This is a cool Ford Fiesta that I did with the rear view here, side views and a few other different things. With this one I think I really did capture the essence of the actual geometric shapes and the essence of the raw effect of the actual car that the shape gives and stuff, and the line effects. Again, oil pastels on tan with oil on top to really blend it all out. But yeah, I really think I was getting closer and closer with this one, with the vision and stuff. Excuse me. But yeah, I really like this one. This is a really cool effect. Yeah, I'm getting there as I progress more and some more and stuff. So definitely, I think I should stick to the oil pastels with the tan. I think that's my go-to now after seeing this one. Okay, then this one happened. This was a cool Renault 5 that I did. Now this one I really like. I think I did capture a lot of the geometric shapes involved. With this one I did went oil pastels again, tan, linseed oil as well. And I think I did a bit of gouache on top of that just to really pick out some of these highlights. But I've really captured the essence of the shapes and the lines. I've exaggerated some of them, so this is like a bit of a more faded version of the front up here. And using not just the shapes of the actual car, but using just the lines as well. Like this was a bit of the light and stuff like that, some speakers. With these old pictures that I do, there's not many reference photos sometimes, because a lot of these photos are from like 20 years ago. And these cars don't exist anymore and stuff. That's why I like to recapture these vehicles and stuff. But yeah, this one I think I really did capture a lot of the lines and the shapes involved. It looks really cool. I love how this one turned out. And the more and more I'm getting more in touch with this and more in tune with my cubist styles and stuff, what's really cool is that because everything that I'm using within the actual picture is part of the actual car. But there's a lot of things there that I can see straight away. But then if I just focus on the picture, I can start seeing other things here. So I know that this is the front view, but then this is the rear view coming back here. But then I'll come back later and I might see something else. Come back later and I might see something else. So yeah, this is me getting closer and closer to capturing the essence of it that I really wanted to go by. Yeah, that looks really awesome. This is a cool Nova I did from back in the day. This one I really like. It's quite simple, this one. There's not many geometric shapes as the previous one. But I still really like this one. It's got some interesting things. I maybe should have added a bit more red, because I've got red in the background here to kind of just create a bit more, add more of the background and like much more contrasting to it. But it draws your eyes away from it a bit too much. So if I do add like another colour like red, maybe add that more into the actual picture. But yeah, still looks really good. Again, oil pastels on with linseed oil on tan. So yeah, I'm getting closer and closer. It's looking good. So this is the next two that I worked on. They're both Corsa actual Bs. I think you can recognise the pattern of what kind of vehicle I like. I like the old hot hatches from the 90s, the old kind of max power car days and stuff like that. Those are my favourite kind of cars to work on. And a lot of them are gone now, and it's cool to recapture some of the cool work that's actually went into these vehicles to design them and stuff. But anyway, this is a cool Corsa B that I did. This one's a really fragmented version of it. And again, within it I can't really see some areas, I can't really see some places. I know there's essence of the rear view, there's essence of the front, the side, wheels, the grille, all sorts of different shapes, and it's really nice jumbled together to create a much more raw effect of it. Again with this one, even though it's got a lot more colour into it, I've managed to really capture these geometric shapes. So I went to a nice pattern of like highlight to dark, dark, highlight, dark, highlight. And it really creates this weird, nice wavy kind of pattern. And again, if you turn it upside down, it still has a kind of flat appearance with it. There's no horizon line, there's no perspective. There's a general depth throughout the whole thing. So yeah, this is the kind of style that I was looking for. So after 8 or 10 previous attempts with these ones, I think I'm really starting to reach a peak point of where this is exactly what I'm kind of looking for. Because I'm kind of getting to that point where I know the car's in there, it's in the picture, and it's for my own mind to actually interpret it. And every time I actually look at these pictures, I see different things within it that's part of the car, so it's much more of a loose effect. So a 3D perspective shows exactly what the car is for realistic, blah blah blah. This has much more of a basic, raw. It's like the brain in motion, trying to figure out what the car is before it actually figures out. So, anyway, I'm rattling on a bit, but yeah, this is really cool. So these are the next ones that I did. This is a 205 here, and this one's a Vauxhall Nova. These ones I think I really started to hone all the effects and all the positive things I got from the previous paintings, and I think I've really managed to capture a lot more of the essence of the actual car and bring much more of a Cubist style. Like, I love all the geometric shapes that I managed to pull here. And what I started to notice when I started to actually create some of these geometric shapes, I started to visualize each one of the shapes as its own individual self, as its own individual shape. So I would see like mountains and hills, and I would just see like lots of depth within it. And I noticed when I created this kind of flat depth throughout the whole picture. So if you look at any side of the picture, there's not one area that will actually, there's no horizon line or anything like that, there's no depth perception, it's all flat completely throughout it. And you can actually turn the paper around and it would actually still have the same kind of flat effect, which was really cool. But yeah, I think I really started to capture it. I love this one. This one's really cool with the greens and stuff like that, because I love how light it gets here, but then there's a highlight here, which is really strange and bizarre. Because I know this is like a front view going this way, but then there's this way. And again, sometimes I can't remember which lines and shapes of the actual car I used to capture some of these shapes and stuff. But that's kind of cool because I don't know when I can't remember. But so then you can interpret your own ideas within it. So I'm using the lines and the shapes to really give them much more cool effect, I think. So yeah, 205 and the Nova, they were really awesome ones to do. This is a cool Ford Escort I nearly forgot to add as well, and it post editing. But this is a really cool one that happened as well. Again, with this one, it's quite hard to discern some areas. You can see the front views here of the headlights. I did this particular Escort because I've never ever seen one like it. It looks really awesome. And I think I did capture the geometric shapes very well. It's not too heavy on the grungy side. I think maybe that's because of the paper I used. Nice chocolate brown kind of paper on A4. But yeah, oil pastels as well. Yeah, it looks really cool. This nice Ford Escort one I did. I can see like that was the shape of the wheel rims. This is part of the engine, tail light here. But I see different things every time I look at them. That's why they're really cool. Yeah, nice Ford Escort one. And to conclude this part of my journey, using all the previous drawings I've done beforehand, this is what I've appeared as resistance so far. This is a combination of everything that I've learnt in my previous drawings that I've applied to this big A2 fellow here. So I've gone to my go-to of the oil pastels and linseed oil, and then I went with gouache as well on top of the highlights. And instead of using actual one car for this one, I used for two different cars, two the same cars. Kind of slightly modified in different ways. This is two Renault 5s with the red one up here and the yellow one here. This one I really love how this one's turned out. A lot of fragmented shapes here, but there is a lot of essence of the actual both cars here combined together. So this one's kind of fragmented up here, but there's shards of yellow here, shards of red as well. And again, with the other, like the other ones, you can see lots of different things within it. Like this is the bonnet vents as if you're looking from above. Here is the wheel. This is like a tail light, the foot pedal. I've got the button from the steering wheel. Lots of different like shapes and views involved in this. But yeah, this is the Piers Resistance so far in my journey. So I think I've finally hit the peak of where I want the actual pictures to look like. Using trial and error from all the previous drawings and stuff like that, I managed to accumulate into this one. So more like this, I think. But the journey so far has gone really well. I think the progression's been really good. It's been challenging from going from realistic to Cubist style, but I think I'm seeing a lot more new things within it, and it's really helped me capture much more perspective on geometric shapes, how to actually work without a horizon line, work without perspective. All these previous rules that you know to actually create a cool drawing and stuff like that, you have to completely ignore when it comes to Cubist style and just get much more of a raw effect. So yeah, this one's really cool. This video will be up soon. I'll upload this review first, but this one will be up soon. But yeah, looking forward to see how my journey concludes after this one.